Welcome to Southwest Florida Happenings, the show that gives a voice to the Southwest Florida community. I'm your host, Marianne Presley with What's Up Southwest Florida, and joining me today is Tim Jacobs with Jacobs Writing Consultants. He's a local writer, editor. He's a published author numerous times, and you're the owner of Jacobs Writing Consultants.
Yes.
So welcome, Tim.
Thank you.
But today we have some really interesting things that we're going to be talking about, because when people think of writers, they think of novels or nonfiction books, but we're going to be talking today about family heritage books and keepsake books. So let's start with the family heritage book. Exactly what is it, and why would somebody want to do something like that?
Basically, what these are, I'll hold this, at least the cover up. This is what we call family reminiscent books, and this is where we trace your family as far back as we can go, to maybe whatever boat it is they came over on and perhaps why they came over. And we go through the whole family and we just get, pictures, maybe your family crest if you have it, any family documentation, and we take all the stories and we put them all into one bound book. So now everyone in your family, they all have the same pictures, the same documents, the same stories, and it's just a good way to preserve your family history, your family story. And this is a book that gets passed down from generation to generation. This is not like you have, a bookcase full of, as you said, novels and some nonfiction books. You pass away, your family's going through your belongings. Well, those end up in a box at Goodwill. This doesn't. This gets fought over by the family members of, who gets it, or, can they make more copies of it, and things like that. So it's maybe 9 months to a year to do a certain project like this, because it's obviously heavily intense on the research part, as well as interviews, transcribing the interviews, and designing the book, laying it out, all the things that go with it. But it's a fun project to do.
And then they're involved. The family's involved in the process along the way.
Yep, they're involved from the start all the way to the finish. They're the ones that do the reviewing of the book to make sure maybe the dates are right, the years are right, and a lot of times you run into things too. The death certificate might say, 1920, but why does their tombstone say 1921? Things like that. Okay. So, but it's fun.
The other book is a keepsake book.
Yes, this is a keepsake book. This we just came out with just this month. We call this the About Us book. And what this is, it's a story of your relationship. So, in this particular one is Crystal and David, just a little bit about them as children, how they met and they started dating. Crystal actually kept, and I'll show you as well as the viewers, this is the actual note that her roommate wrote the very first time David called her.
Oh, wow.
And
she kept all those things.
Yep, and then they had their dating life together. Then all of a sudden he proposed, which in their case is now a funny story, wasn't at the time, but they were in Las Vegas. They were at a 5-star restaurant. Here he is in the middle of proposing, puts his hand in his pocket, and there's a hole, and he lost the ring.
Oh, wow.
And on top of losing the ring, it was his grandmother's ring of all. But anyways, they still proposed. He just got her another ring. Of course, they get married. So then we just have pictures from your wedding. What did you do? Where'd you go on your honeymoon? Things like that, as well as, what's your future? This goes back like 3 years ago. Coming up on 3 years, they had a little baby. This is Scarlett there in the middle. And just another picture of them, a little family picture. And next month is the latest addition coming into the family. And it's just, a happily ever after, which of course started out as, once upon a time. And again, this is just a book about, your spouse, your partner, significant other, whatever your relationship is. But it's just strictly about the two of you and, how did you meet kind of story, So
and what a wonderful keepsake to hand down to your children.
Exactly.
You can hand it down to your grandchildren.
Yep.
So that when they go to do a heritage book, they have one of these as well.
Because unlike this book, the way this one is structured, this is even something, you get a little stand. This is on the mantle of your fireplace, or this is actually displayed maybe in your bookcase or somewhere in your house, or even just on your coffee table. But my personal thing is what I like is years down the road when Scarlett and her sister that's on the way have their own grandchildren, and they're saying, hey, what was your grandma and grandpa like? They just take out this book and it's their story and their words with a whole bunch of pictures, not just one picture, this was grandma, this was grandpa.
All right, so if anybody's interested in doing either one of these projects with you, How do they get a hold of you?
They can call me at 239-464-9730 or our website, which is jacobswc.com.
All right. Well, thank you, Tim, so much for joining us. These are wonderful little family projects.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So thanks for watching Southwest Florida Happenings, the show that gives a voice to the Southwest Florida community.